Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Montoya. Alright, so today I have a pattern review here for Simplicity 8546, and it is for a shirt dress. Now I went ahead and sewed up view B with just only one modification. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into the review. Alright, so I went ahead and cut out the size 14. Now on the back of the pattern it tells you to go by your bust, waist, and hip measurements for every particular pattern. And according to the chart, my bust measurement lied in the size 14, so I'm a size 35 and a half, 36 sometimes. So that's closer to the size 14. But then when I cut out the pattern, I noticed that the hip, it said that the finished measurement would be a 42. Now before I sewed this up, I planned on wearing it opened and also closed as a dress. But then when I was done, I really wasn't feeling it closed up as a dress. I really only liked it as an open shirt, and then still an open shirt, but then putting a sash on it. So I did add 2 extra inches of ease to the hips because I did not want to have that struggle button. And y'all know about that struggle button, right? When you have them buttons up and that button be struggling to stay closed. That's not what I wanted to happen around the hip if I was to put that button on and I'm trying to wear it as a dress and that button looked like it's struggling. So that is why I did add 2 inches to the hip. But now, since I probably won't even wear it like that, I probably did not even need to add that extra 2 inches to the hip. But if you do plan on doing that, I would definitely double check the hip measurement for the size that you cut to make sure that it is proportionate to your body, because you might have to grade in between sizes. Now I wish I would have did the 14 to size 26, so I could have just graded nicely instead of having to add extra inches. Yes, it does look the same like the girl here on the pattern. I even cuffed my sleeves like she did because I like that style. But yeah, my buttonholes and my buttons lined up similar, just like it is here on the pattern. So it does look very much like the picture. Alright, so for the instructions, yes and no. If you are a beginner sewer, so if you haven't been working with patterns, then the directions will be challenging for you to understand and follow because of the sewing terminology used. You will find some of the steps very tricky. If you're more of an advanced beginner, intermediate level, then I think that you'll be able to catch on to the instructions. You might have to read something a couple of times, 3 times, maybe 4 or 5 times, but then after you look at the pictures and you're rereading, it will start to register what exactly the steps are telling you to do. And then after you start pinning things together, basting, I feel as though the instructions are not easy, but they're you'll be able to manage and understand what they are saying. If you are a beginner, start working with some more patterns first before you go ahead and try to tackle these instructions, because you'll just want to toss them instructions right out the window if you try to jump into this pattern here. Alright, so for this pattern, I like that it already had pockets, because it's already self-explanatory, but I'll say it again because I might have some new people here. So for those of you who are new, I'm a pocket lover. Everything that I make has to have pockets, but I really love that about the pattern. The thing that I also liked about this pattern was it helped me to step out of my comfort zone, like doing the lap band and things like that. And just doing the collar, the neckband, I really liked all of the details that went into creating this piece. One thing that I do not like about the pattern is the length. I should have looked at the finished garment measurements again to double check the length, specifically for a dress, because when I wear a dress, I like for it to hit the floor. Like, I do not like my shoes showing on when I'm wearing like a maxi type of dress. So I did need more length, because even when I'm wearing sandals, I still, like for it to hit the floor, like, because for me, when it hits the floor, it gives me that elongated look, and I look nice and tall. So I'm not really too much feeling the length on this one. And I'm 5'7", by the way, so maybe if you're a little bit shorter than me, then it might be a perfect length for you. But I would have added at least 2 or 3 more inches, because I probably will only be wearing this with sandals, so I still even need that extra length to wear it with sandals. Alright, so for the fabric, I used my favorite fabric that I showcased in my fabric haul video. And I said I was going to make this pattern, and look at me, fulfilling my goal, saying things that I was going to do, and I did it. So this is 100% cotton fabric, Ankara, also known as African wax print fabric, but there's no wax finish to this one. Yeah, it just pops with the all black, these colors, and on my skin tone, bam! So yeah, I love this fabric. Alright, so for this pattern, I didn't make any alterations. I just did some add-ons. So my sash here is, before I folded it to make the sash, the piece was 5 inches wide, and I used 2 45-inch long pieces, and I just sewed those 2 together and made a sash. Because I also like to wear it still open, but having this sash just gives it that extra cinch around the waist. So I like to wear both ways. Another thing that I did, it's not really alteration, but instead of buying buttons, I just use cover buttons, which I often like to do when a pattern calls for buttons. And yeah, I just got the size 20, which is 1.5 inches. Just use some of the scrap fabric, made the buttons. But other than that, I did not alter the pattern at all. Alright, yes, I do plan to make this again. I would like to either use tinsel denim or denim, but I want to make it a light one, just kind of like how she has this color here that she has here on the pattern. I want to make one in denim. So the next time around, I probably will do a sew along. That way, those of you who are just beginning to sew, you can follow along with me during a tutorial. So this is on my to-do list to make another one, and then when I make it again, to do a tutorial. But that'll probably be sometime in the spring, so it won't be anytime soon, because I have other tutorials to record. But I do want to make it again, and yeah. And I must say, I'm proud of myself with all these finishes, even the inside of the garment. Using my serger, got these clean finishes on the inside. Buttonholes looking real nice. Like, my buttonhole game is strong now. I remember when I first started doing buttonholes, I didn't even know how to work this automatic buttonhole. But even the way I'm attaching my buttons, it looks so clean on the inside. Like, I've done stepped up my game, okay? And sewing all of these patterns has really been pushing me out of my comfort zone. My skills have really grown over the past 3 years of working with patterns, and yeah, I'm proud of myself for this one, because it had a lot of pieces, and usually I do not do patterns that have a lot of pieces. Like this one that I have on right here, it was 3 pieces, front, back, sleeve. That's all that I do. This one had about 10, 12 pattern pieces. So for me, I'm like, do we really want to do this? Are we sure we don't want to do something easier? You sure you don't want to do something easier? This is seem like too many pieces, and you have other projects you want to do. This is very time consuming, but I'm glad I just went ahead and did it. And took me some days after work every day. I just came home, turned on my music, and I'm at my sewing machine doing my thing. and it turned out very beautiful. Alrighty everyone, that concludes my pattern review for Simplicity 8546. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask those down below, or just feel free to leave me a comment. Share this video, like this video. If you haven't subscribed already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe here on my channel. And if you're not subscribed to my blog, what are you waiting for? Subscribe on my blog. And let me just put in another extra plug. Follow me on IG, because I am going to be starting an IGTV. So, yeah, go ahead and follow your girl. Alrighty, until next time.